Do you want to scare your opponents with one guy on your roster and make them shake in their shoes? Find out who that guy is next on this episode of a Triple Play Fantasy YouTube football breakdown. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great day whenever they're watching this. Today, I got to talk about someone who's a little scary. Yeah, that's right. Scary Terry, Mr. Terry McLaurin, who I believe is going to be a firm top 10 PPR wide receiver in 2021. The man is ready to break out, and you need every single piece of this action. All right, so let's first break down Terry McLaurin and what he did last year in 2020. 15 games, had 134 targets, which ranked 12th among the position, 1,118 yards, which ranked 13th among the position, and he had 74.5 yards per game, 17th among the position. Only 4 touchdowns, though, which is not great, and we're hoping to see make a big leap in this next year. But look, let's take a look from year 1 to year 2. He had 29 more catches and 41 more targets, and also clipped 1,000 yards from the year 1 to year 2 leap. So I expect that same exponential growth to occur going into year 3. Now let's talk about one of the reasons, the big reasons why he's going to take a big year 3 leap. He suffered, Terry McLaurin, from probably some of the worst and inconsistent quarterback play over the first 2 years he's been in the league. So I'll let you pause the video here if you think you can name the 6 quarterbacks that he's played with. But if you're not sure and you're going to let the video play, the quarterbacks he's played with: Case Keenum, Colt McCoy, Dwayne Haskins, Kyle Allen, Alex Smith, and Taylor Heineke. Not exactly an amazing list of quarterbacks there. You could argue probably the worst, maybe next to Allen Robinson, list of quarterbacks that someone's played with in a career. So now you have Ryan Fitzpatrick entering the fold here as, without a doubt, the best quarterback that Terry McLaurin's ever played with on a roster. But what makes Ryan Fitzpatrick so attractive to us Terry McLaurin truthers here is Ryan Fitzpatrick has given 128 targets to a number 1 wide receiver on his team every year he started at least 8 games. So barring injury this season, I would expect that Fitzpatrick is going to start half the season. 7 out of 8 of those seasons he started at least 8 games. The number 1 wide receivers had at least 72 catches. 6 out of 8 of those seasons, they've had at least 1,000 or more receiving yards. And then 3 of those seasons, they've also had at least 10 touchdowns. Now, let's not forget, too, Ryan Fitzpatrick's the type of quarterback to let his wide receivers make plays, as he's always been that way. You look back from the Stevie Johnsons of the world, Brandon Marshalls, most recently Devonte Parker, basically getting Devonte Parker paid. This is a gunslinger that likes to make his wide receiver one very relevant and lets his wide receiver make plays. He's not somebody that's going to check down to his tight end, to his running backs. He goes to his wide receivers. That's where he likes to throw, especially his ex-wide receiver, which is, again, in this case, Terry McLaurin. So let's take a look at Terry McLaurin's profile specifically last year from Player Profiler. And you can see, or I'm sorry, taking a look more into the Ryan Fitzpatrick aspect from the Player Profiler aspect here. And we look at Ryan Fitzpatrick's numbers last year to Terry McLaurin, and you'll see that Player Profile ranked him as the number 1 in pressure completion percentage, number 2 in deep ball completion percentage, and number 4 in catchable balls. All great things that are going to be major boosts to Terry McLaurin's production and what he can do in the 2021 season. Now, back to Terry McLaurin himself, who's had 227 targets at 9 yards per target in his first 2 years. He's going to remain an extreme high priority to get the ball, and you know he's great at route running. He was averaging 1.95 yards per route run, which ranked number 24 among 77 qualified receivers, according to PFF. Now, one of the reasons I think he's going to make the leap this year as well is you see the 1,100 yards he had last year, but what you don't see is that he was actually on pace for 1,400 yards before the last 4 games of the year. Those last 4 games included Taylor Heineke's debut game and 2 Dwayne Haskins started games in which he only recorded 155 yards combined in those games. So basically, to sum it up, bottom line, Terry McLaurin needs to be drafted on your fantasy rosters. He's going to make an ascension this year to being a, no doubt about it, top 10. And I would even consider putting him at the 6-7 spot in the wide receiver rankings. He's going to have that type of year this year. For everybody that's concerned about the Curtis Samuel addition, I expect Curtis Samuel to eat more into the Logan Thomas target share than I do into the Terry McLaurin target share. Logan Thomas is somebody easily is going to regress heavily. Curtis Samuel will get the ball, basically the Logan Thomas receiving work will go to Curtis Samuel. I expect that to be eating into each other a lot more than Terry McLaurin. So please, if you one thing from this video, make it a priority. Draft scary Terry McLaurin at very worst as a top 10 PPR wide receiver going into the 2021 season. He is going to be someone you're going to be glad that you did as your wide receiver too, and go ahead and take it to the bank as you win your league. Appreciate everybody checking out another video on the Triple Play Fantasy YouTube channel. If you haven't already yet, please subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're alerted every single time we drop content. We're dropping content at this point right now. Feels like every day, even 1 or 2 pieces a day. We've got a great team over at Triple Play Fantasy, and we all appreciate every single one of you that check out our football, baseball, basketball, movie minutes, any type of content we're dropping here is greatly appreciated. Stay tuned because, of course, there'll be more great stuff coming on the Triple Play Fantasy YouTube channel. And if there's something you'd like to see, please let us know in the comments below. And until then, we'll catch you guys.